All right, hey guys, welcome to the video. If you're new here, my name's Curtis, and today we're gonna be sampling the house of Rania J. Do you guys know that house? It's a house that I'm familiar with because of a fragrance called Ambre Loup, and I've never sampled that fragrance, but I have heard about that fragrance, and there are quite a few people who talked about it. So it's supposed to be quite a lovely amber fragrance. And recently, when I made a purchase from Lucky Scent, if you spend over a certain amount of money, they will you can choose kind of like a free gift. And so this is a house that's been on my radar for some time now, and so I really wanted to sample the house, so I selected the sample set from Rania J. So Lucky Scent sent me 5 samples, pretty nice looking samples here from Rania J. I think these are 2 ml samples, quite chunky. They may even be 2.5 ml, I can't really tell, but yeah, very nice samples here, so I'm looking forward to trying these. So the fragrances that I have from Rania J are Musc Moschus. I might be butchering the pronunciation. Not I might, I am butchering the pronunciation. So yeah, I apologize for that. Ombre Loop. And we have Habanero. And let's see what else. Oud Assam. And Lavande 44, which I'm assuming is going to be a lavender fragrance here. So yeah, I'm excited to test these fragrances out. I really know, other than Ambre Loup, I really don't know anything about these fragrances, and Ambre Loup I've never even sampled or smelled before. So these will be initial first impressions, so I'm excited to dive into this. So if you guys are curious to hear my thoughts and opinions on the house of Rania J, then let's go. So first up, since I know about Ombre Loop the most in terms of that's the fragrance I've heard about, let's go ahead and try that one first. So here is my sample of Ombre Loop. Yeah, so let's go ahead. I'm gonna put this here on my left hand here. Now I haven't looked up the notes or anything to any of these fragrances, so I really know nothing about them. So I'm going into this quite blind, to be honest. Let's go. There we go. Sprays are kind of weird, but so this is definitely an amber fragrance. It kind of has like some chocolatey nuances, it feels like, and there is even something kind of slightly animalic about this amber. I don't know if there's oud in here or if it's just kind of the animalic kind of tones that this amber has. But I wouldn't say it smells dated by any means, but it has something that it has kind of a mature smell to it. You know, if I'm comparing other amber fragrances like Grand Soir, I feel like Grand Soir is definitely an easier to like amber than something like this would be. I feel like this amber could come off as very challenging to some people. I don't know how I feel about this one. This is just okay for me. Like, it's really starting to dry down. Maybe I didn't get such a great spray on my hand. There's something a bit woodsy about this as well. But it's not like overly sweet like you can get with some ambers. Some ambers can come off quite sweet. This isn't. This definitely feels a bit dry, but it has a subtle sweetness to it. And those kind of initial like animalic kind of tones that I was getting have subsided rather quickly. They're still there, but they've definitely started to push themselves into the background. This is okay for me. I wouldn't say that off this initial first impression that I'm like crazy to kind of go out and get a bottle of this or anything. It's just okay for me. right now. Now, you know, in all fairness, I need to let these fragrances dry down and give them a proper sniff to see how it goes. But Ombre Loop is just okay for me. So let's go ahead and dive into the next one. So the next one I think we'll go into is Musc Moschus or Monkus, or I don't know. If someone can help with the pronunciation of this, Moschus, I don't know. Yeah. So let's go ahead and put this. I'm gonna put this here on my left arm right here. Put it right there. All right. There we go. That was a good spray. Okay. Oh. Okay, this one is quite fruity from that opening blast there. And there's also, it almost kind of feels like there's a bit of like caramel or something. It's like a fruit kind of caramel type of smell, almost like coffee-like in a way, like caramelized coffee in a way. But that fruity tone quickly subsided. It's just on that initial spray. And it almost kind of feels like a caramelized kind of coffee at the moment. There are definitely some musky kind of qualities to this fragrance. It is a lovely smell. I do enjoy the smell of this. But I feel like this one is unisex. It might push slightly feminine. Like, I feel like this one has some gourmand qualities to it, but it doesn't necessarily push full-on gourmand. It's nice. This is quite nice, but I don't necessarily know if this is like a fragrance for me personally right now. I mean, I'd be curious to see how this one dries down. Smelling. But there is kind of like an underlying freshness to this fragrance too. So it has that kind of like caramelized coffee-like kind of sweetness. I don't know if there's any caramel or any coffee in this fragrance, but I'm just trying to describe the feeling and smells that I'm getting from this now. But there is an underlying sweetness to this. It smells good. It definitely smells good. But yeah, I would say, it smells good. Yeah, let me let this sit for a little bit, and after I get through the rest of these, I'll come back to this and kind of give some more thoughts. But let's go ahead and move on to the next one. So let's do Tea Habanero. Tea Habanero. Where can I spray this one? I'll put this one on my right hand here. Okay. Tea Habanero. I wonder if this one's going to be spicy. I think of like, Okay, there was kind of like maybe some bergamot in the top of this, but there was kind of a heavy little citrus blast there, kind of a burst of freshness, and that quickly is subsiding. It is a bit spicy, a bit aromatic as well. I would say from a smell standpoint, this kind of has almost like an earthy, slightly dirty, but slightly fresh at the same time. There might be some like vetiver or even patchouli in this one. Yeah, this is okay for me. It's nothing too exciting. I feel like I've smelled a fragrance like this before. It definitely has like an earthy undertone to it though. That's for sure. Something even slightly damp. This one smells okay. I'm not too impressed, to be honest. This one is okay. So I'll put this one aside. So that was tea habanero. All right, so I have Oud Assam and Lavande 44. So let's go with Lavande 44. I will put this one right here on my wrist. Maybe I'll put it right here. Lavande 44. I wonder if this is going to be anything like Lavande 31 from the Labo. You definitely get a heavy blast of lavender, that's for sure. Slight kind of green tinge to this. This is quite aromatic. Has a spicy like quality to it. But it doesn't really, I feel like Lavande 31 by Le Labo kind of, it's like a modern, kind of pushes into that fougere style. I don't really get that vibe from this one. And to be honest, I don't really like the smell of the way that this lavender is coming off, if that's what this is. Again, I haven't looked up the notes, so I don't know, but I'm just assuming that. Yeah, I don't really like this one. The smell is slightly off-putting to me. Yeah, it's nothing special. I don't know what to think about this house. Now I'll give these fragrances a little bit of time to dry down, then as I'm going through these, I'll revisit these. All right, so let's dive into the last one. This is Oud Assam. Okay, so I'm gonna put this one here on my right forearm. Okay. Good spray there. All right, Oud Assam. Give this one a second. Get this. I'm getting like an alcoholic. This isn't anything like too funky or too off-putting or anything like that. This is more so just from me being underwhelmed and like not impressed, to be honest. Wow, I really expected so much more out of these fragrances. Like, I thought I was going to be kind of blown away, but that's definitely not the case. Yeah, there's like a slight earthy, dark woodiness to this one, but it's nothing like, the oud, if there's oud in here, it's not coming off like very barnyardy or skanky. It just comes up a bit dark and earthy. There's woody undertones. Again, there might be some patchouli in here as well. Just okay. To be honest, not impressed at all. Okay, let me go back and revisit these fragrances that I have sprayed on. Let me see if there's any changes to these. I really hope that there is, but if there's not, then that's just the way it is. So let me smell Ombre Loop. I got Ombre Loop. Let's see how this is kind of dried down. Let me smell my shirt real quick. See if my nostrils are burned here. Okay. Okay, it seems like it hasn't gone through too much change, but it does feel like there's a woodiness that has started to push a bit more forward in this mix here. It's definitely still quite ambery. There's an underlying sweetness still that remains. But yeah, doesn't blow me away. Definitely not full bottle worthy for me. It's okay at best. I've smelled way better ambers than this. Just okay. So let's go to Musc Moschus. I have right here. Yeah, again, I'm still getting like There's like an underlying freshness, but I'm still getting kind of like a caramelized kind of sweetness to this fragrance. And a caramelized kind of almost coffee-like sweetness. It smells good. I think out of all the fragrances, I mean, that I've smelled so far, this one smells the best. But still not full bottle worthy for me. I mean, it's just okay. But I think with this one, Musc Moschus, I am interested in spending more time with this sample. So yeah, so far this has been the best one. Yeah, not bad. So let's go to Tea Habanero. I think I sprayed right here. Let's smell this one. Yeah, this one, again, I feel like I've smelled a fragrance like this. And what this is kind of reminding me of a little bit is a fragrance that I have by Dessert. I think it's called Hanamatsuri. I mean, not the same at all. The Dessert one has so much more depth and character to this, but there's certain nuances of this fragrance that kind of remind me of that. But they're not the same fragrances by any means. They go down different paths, but there are maybe slight similarities. Yeah, there's kind of like just an underlining, slightly citrusy, green earthiness to this fragrance. A bit spicy, yeah, but nothing special, nothing that's blowing me away. Let's go to Lavande 44, which is right here. To be honest, I can't even smell it. Just slight hint of lavender is basically all I can smell. I can't really smell that at all. I don't know if it's because my nose just is, I've smelled stronger fragrances before this one, and this is the lighter of the bunch, but I can't really smell it. So I can't really give fair comment on it. But you know, when on that initial spray, it wasn't necessarily that type of lavender, isn't the type that I really was drawn to. You know, I feel like it's kind of mediocre at best. And again, you guys, these are just my initial thoughts and opinions. With all fairness, I would need to spend more time with all of these fragrances, but you know, the initial first impressions don't necessarily wow me. But you know, again, these are just my opinions. You know, some of you guys might love these fragrances. That's fine, you know. For me, these are just my thoughts, so please don't take it personally. And the last one, Oud Assam. Oud Assam, okay. There's definitely like a slight funkiness to this, but it's not, again, it's not really, it doesn't really go down the barnyardy or skanky type of oud. There's like this kind of, there's something that's a bit bitter about this that's a slightly off-putting though for me. This definitely isn't full bottle worthy. I would say none of these are full bottle worthy for me. So that's just the way it goes sometimes. Yeah, Rania J was a house that I thought was gonna really kind of wow me, but I'm a bit, you know, I was very underwhelmed with this house. Yeah, just okay for me. But the Musc Moschus is the one I will be spending a bit more time with, but I do feel like this is more of a, I feel like this is more of a fall winter scent, and it's unisex, might be pushing slightly feminine, in my opinion. But you know, I have plenty of unisex fragrances that push feminine, and I have some that push heavily feminine that I enjoy wearing. So yeah, that makes no difference to me. But yeah, this house is just okay. All right, guys, so that's all I have for you for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's content. And let me know down in the comment section, what are your thoughts and opinions on the house of Rania J? Do you own any of their fragrances? Have you sampled this house before? I'd love to hear what you guys think. Well, I hope you guys are staying healthy and well, and I'll see you in the next video.